cabin.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's still in the AM. It's only about 11:30, but it's already getting warm. And you probably hear the leaf blowers are buzzing, the flies are flying, people are zooming through the alleyway. It's a Thursday. Yeah, it's a Thursday in Southern California, Los Angeles County. Yeah, well, anyways, we're doing our regular, normal content. I don't have it. Well, you know what? Should have something to enjoy, don't I? I think so. Give me a second. I'll be right back after these brief messages.
Once a little old lady named Laura Scudder had a thing about potato chips. She hated chips that sounded like... Now I ask you, who likes chips that sound like... So Laura Scudder decided to make her own. A crisp, noisy potato chip. She went potato shopping until she found the perfect potato chip potato. Solid. She researched 197 vegetable oils until she found the purest and found the best salt. Then she put them all together with her secret recipe to make them crisp and crunchy and put them in a special package to keep them that way. And this was the result.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that brief message from our sponsor, and we have our corn cob. Now we're going to be enjoying just a little bit of something out here because, you know, it's just nice. Now we have a few things to show and tell and talk about. I know it's been a while. It's been a week. But there's things still happening. Now I haven't been able to really... well, this is what we call the long shot. I'm filling my little corn cob with long shot, which is a custom blend from the Tobacco Trader in Culver City. So anyone in the greater Los Angeles area who is a pipe smoker or enthusiast from any degree of whatever, and you want to try some locally blended stuff, go there. Go to the Tobacco Trader. You know, take a look at their place. So you can find them online. They're easy to find. They're right there in Culver City. Anyhow, yeah. So we will get this started. I don't have a lot left. It was only a sample. They only gave me a sample, and I've been kind of milking it because I have a lot of other blends I enjoy too. So, you know, sample can go a long way depending on how much you enjoy it, right? So, put this in this little Player's Navy cut. Yeah, I got that in England. Yeah, I'm... Never mind. Anyway, we're going to share some things that are a little different. Besides lanterns, I do have a lantern to share, but I will share that last. All right, so let me get my tamper and a match, and we'll get into the content. That is nice. Very nice. Woo! It's like smog, LA smog in here. Yeah. Haven't enjoyed my Missouri, Missouri. We'll just go with Missouri Meerschaum. They make all the corn cob stuff. It's nice stuff. It's inexpensive, and they have a lot of different nice styles, and they're kind of disposable to some degree. I mean, it's a corn cob for crying out loud, so they're not exactly designed for longevity or collectability. I mean, some people do collect them, but they don't really smoke them because they're, you know, kind of tired. But anyways, they're hard to clean because they absorb so much. Yeah. Not as much as the briar, but anyways, it's still nice. So, doing our Popeye impression out here today. As you can see, I'm just wearing a white tee and a cap. And, well, pants too, of course, but it's warm. It's getting to be pretty warm. It's going to be in the mid 90s today. Mm-hmm. So it's getting spicy. It's already getting there. Made a nice breakfast this morning. I fried up some eggs and bacon and hash browns and whatnot. So got that done early before the heat of the day started to descend upon me. But wanted to share something that I found. And I don't mean found recently, but I do mean I found recently, but only in my own stuff. I was looking for this. I was trying to figure out where it was. Yeah. Because I was like, I know I have one. I know a friend of mine gave it to me. I don't where. I couldn't find it. I didn't know where it was. But anyways, here it is. Hold on a second. Bring it there. Gee, Rob, what is that? Well, that should be an indication. Yeah. It's a tire pressure gauge. That's right. And there's some text on there. There you can see it. Anyways, pretty cool. So you put it on your tire valve stem, right there, and then this part, the bottom, extends. I don't have the PSI to push it out, but yeah, there it is. See? Yeah, pretty cool, huh? How old is this? It's old. Yeah, I have an ad for it, actually. That's a printout of an original ad for this little tire pressure gauge. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, it is. A good friend of mine, Steve Cockrum, if you watch this, please comment. But anyways, this is a really cool little valve stem tire pressure gauge, and it's just, you know, he has, I think he has one himself, and he found a spare, and he figured that since I own an antique car, I might as well have this. This one doesn't really, it's not very accurate to my understanding. He said he's tested it and it's not as accurate as maybe it should be. But anyways, it's pretty cool. It says new balloon tire gauge with ball foot extension. So that's pretty cool. Kind of a new design for the 20s. Let's see. Doesn't give an exact year, but you can totally tell it's mid to late 20s, maybe. Right around there. So yeah. Cool stuff, right? We do share other things besides lanterns, but automotive stuff like that is kind of fun. I'm glad I found it. I was going through some stuff out here, and then it just rolled out of something, and I was like, oh, there it is. I was looking for that. Anyway, so we have something that I owe somebody for. Yeah. It's not a big deal. I mean, I'm looking for something to trade for this, but it's a special lantern. And my a shout out to my buddy Anthony in Pomona. Yep. He bought this, and he wasn't crazy about it. Yeah, I think mainly because of the paint, and it does have paint on it. Yeah. No, it's not a CT ham. Looks like one, right? Kind of does. It's actually a Winfield Warren. That's right. Take a look at the globe. Winfield. I know it's not the strongest strike on that globe, but it is a Winfield Warren, Ohio, from Warren, Ohio. It's a number O. It's a number 2. This is an Eclipse. Okay. Now, you might be asking yourself, Eclipse. Isn't that the vacant of light? Isn't it like when something moves in front of something and overshadows its light, like, I don't know, the moon in front of the sun or vice versa, right? Well, astronomically speaking, yes. When the moon is in rotation, or in its rotation around the Earth, we'll say, There's certain times, ever so often, that it aligns with the sun, and then we have a solar eclipse. Now, those are rare. Those are not common. Those only happen ever so often, many years between sometimes, and well, I mean, different parts of the world see them occasionally more than we do here at this spot on the globe, Southern California. It's very infrequent here, and when they happen here, it's a big deal, especially where I work. But see a lot more lunar eclipses, and I like those too. Those are kind of fun, but not when they're like at 4 in the morning. I mean, who's staying up that late or getting up that early? Not me. Anyway, eclipses are traditionally something that are very fun to watch, and they're very, rare. They don't happen as often as we'd like, maybe. But I mean, back in the ancient times, they thought it was a dragon devouring the moon, or there was, of course, some folklore surrounding eclipses and whatnot amongst the ancient civilizations, which makes sense. But why it's named Eclipse is not because it's a dim lantern or it doesn't put out a whole lot of light. No, it's called Eclipse because it's branding. It eclipses the competition. So yeah, makes sense, right? Well, there we go. Now I'm going to put some oil in this. And we're going to light it. Got some kerosene. Rob, you shouldn't smoke around oil. Why not? You'll be sorry. I almost choked on myself there. You'll be happy to know that kerosene has got a much higher flash point. It's not as volatile as gasoline. Now, if that was gasoline, I would not smoke around it. Guaranteed. Promise you that. We wouldn't have a channel anymore if I had. Anyways, I know what I'm doing. Yeah. So, this is a number 2 size. So this is a number 2 burner. Wow. Oh, is it a bayonet? There it is. Yeah. So here we go. Big number 2 size burner, just like a cold blast, like a Dietz cold blast, Steel burner cone. Yeah, somebody did treat this with some cast iron color paint, which I will be removing, by the way. Yeah. But this is a cool piece. And as you can see, the lift lever goes right through the air tube. Yeah, right through it. Isn't that crazy? I know. Because CT Ham has it go around the other side. It's an outside lift, but it goes around. It has a little brass bracket that locks it in place. This has no locking mechanism at all. And it does have a weird swivel bracket underneath the glow plate. See that? And it does swivel when you crank on it. You can almost go around like a propeller, like a Jack in the Box. It's kind of funny. But it locks in place. And for what it's worth, it's an interesting design, to say the very least. To say the very least, it's an interesting design, but it's a fun one. I like it. I think it's a cool piece. Now, I do have another Winfield, and it's the red one, right? It's the red one with the old Japanning on it. The dark red Japanning and old aged to perfection. I mean, it is a beautiful piece. I love that lantern. I really do. And I got it from my friend Josh. Yeah. And that thing is, I burn it ever so often. It's still a favorite. It's still in the top 3. But we're going to light this thing, because the other one I have is a number O. So it's the standard, which it is named standard. It's the standard Winfield number O. And this is the Eclipse. So let's get going here. Really? Dud. Let's get this up. Stay. I don't want to stay up. There. Try that again. That's better. You know, it's not me, it's the matches. That's not bad. That's pretty darn good, I think. What do you think? You think so? I think so. See, these are actually a good box. Just sometimes you get a lousy one. They just don't make them like they used to. There we go. That's a good looking lantern, isn't it? So, when I get the chance, I've been busy lately. I know, like, what are you doing, Rob? How can you be more busy now than you were before? Well, I've been dealing with the Dodge. That's right, my one and only. My trusty steed, the 40 Dodge, has been getting my attention, overdue attention, and I have had to take it in for a few things. I had to replace the gear oil and the trans and top off the pumpkin and all that stuff. And on Tuesday I spent the day at a friend's house doing an oil change and trying to lubricate some of the zerts on the undercarriage, and because she was squeaking and sounding a little cranky. So just doing some maintenance on the old car, and when I got done with that, it was like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and boy, was it already hot. It was warm. It was in the low 90s. And I had to drive the car back from Hacienda Heights, where my friend lives. And there's a lot of traffic lights on surface streets these days. So each traffic light, major intersection, it seemed like it was taking 10 minutes. I sat there for it seemed like for eternity, and I would watch my temperature gauge just start climbing up towards 200 degrees. The maximum temperature on the gauge is 212 on this car, and I want to keep it away from that because I don't want to blow a head gasket. I can't afford to replace a head gasket. And all the problems that go with it. So, yeah. So I ducked into a Wendy's, saw a nice new Wendy's, and there's no one there. I went in, I parked the car under a tree, let it open the hood and the radiator cap, and I let it cool off as I went inside and had a cold water, a nice ice water, and also got a Frosty, nice chocolate Frosty. It was perfect for a hot day. And just sat in there and looked at my phone a little bit and just let the car take a breather. And then when that was done, I got back in the car and I drove home. And it was a little better once I got over the hills, because there's hills. Once you go down Azusa Avenue far enough, you're starting to hit the hills down towards the 60 freeway. And it's annoying. I don't like it. I hate hills. Now, if you're getting green lights, fine. It's okay. But if you're hitting traffic lights on the hill on a hot day in an antique car, my personal comfort, I don't care. I can sweat, I can have a water in the car, and I can be fine. I'm used to driving a car without air conditioning. I had a 46 that was my daily driver, and the 46, of course, no AC. So I'm used to it. I'm readjusting myself to driving the antique car. And it's okay. I mean, it's what people did. We've become very, very soft people, I think. And, when people say, "Oh, do you have air conditioning in that car?" I'm like, "No, it's windows down, going, 440." And they're like, "Oh my gosh, you poor thing." I'm like, it's okay. I have a shower. I have a bathtub. When I get home, I can take a bath real quick or whatever, shower, and clean up, and I'm good to go. So yeah, the summer is uncomfortable, but my main concern is keeping that motor happy. Making sure it's safe and it's good to drive. And so that being said, I am looking to maybe a radiator flush or a block flush of some sort. I'm going to have to do that soon. Excuse me. But anyways, the car has definitely been the priority. So doing any lanterns, definitely a second thought. But with this thing, it's a pretty cool lantern, and I think I will be taking the cast iron paint off. There could be some nice patina under there. It seems very smooth, so I don't think it's pitted. But I'll do my trick to it, and a video at some point in time in the near future of the Winfield Warren. So, yeah, that's a nice number 2. This is actually my second number 2 Cold Blast lantern. Did I say Cold Blast? I sure did. Shame on you, Rob. You know better. Hot Blast. And boy, is it a hot blast out here. It's getting there. It really is. But yeah, this is a cool lantern. It needs a little bit of tweaking, but it burns really well. And, you know, it's complete. And my friend Anthony in Pomona, he didn't quite... It wasn't his favorite. He has a few lanterns, but this one really wasn't talking to him because he didn't like the paint. So we're going to work out a trade for something. I have plenty of things to trade him. He likes many things besides just lanterns. He likes a lot of 1920s and 30s items and kitchen ephemera and all that stuff. So he likes a lot of household appliances as well. So I'm sure I can find something for him for a reasonable trade for this piece. But for right now, it's being enjoyed just as it is. I will be preparing myself to strip it because I think that would be a fun thing to do. The weather is very warm, so it would probably work very fast. But yeah, the other update, I have not yet touched the Embury 210 that I'm supposed to clean up for my friends. I will be seeing them later this month, so I do have some time left to attend to that. Now, that being said, we have nothing else really to report. So that's going to be it for this week, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll be getting some things back soon. My friend, who's doing some fount and soldering repair on my other ham that I shared, he'll probably be getting that back to me in a week. So without further ado, I will definitely keep you guys posted on that when it returns, and we'll be doing a light up of that. I'm excited. And there might be something else coming along my way, and I will be doing, of course, another video of that. So if it all works out, we'll do another video for something a little different. It's not going to be unusually different, but it's going to be cool to share anyways. I hope it pans out for me. With that being said, guys, thanks again for your continued support and your comments and your subscriptions. I really do appreciate that. And to the new subscribers, don't think I haven't noticed you guys. I appreciate it. I'm glad you found the channel. I'm glad you felt impressed to subscribe. I mean, what we do out here is pretty, yeah, you know, for the lack of a better word, intimate. I mean, it's just myself with a lantern and my antique kingdom here. But I try and make it interesting and share some other antique related items besides just kerosene tubular lanterns. But hey, you know what? Channel's still growing. And I'm still figuring things out. So once I get, you know, some better bearings on my direction where I want to go with this channel, then we'll just keep on doing the lantern stuff, but we'll also throw in some other things. And it's all going to be antique, 1920s, well, I'd say 1890s, 1880s, 1870s, all the way up to the 1950s. Pretty wide spread of history right there, if you ask me. So, we will just share. If you guys have anything that you would like to know about antique-wise, about, you know, mantiques, I guess you could say. That's kind of a popular buzzword, mantique stuff that both, you know, guys like to collect. You know, like garage stuff, you know, or old appliances, or cookware, or, well, you know, shoot. Excuse me. Bumped my chair. Anyways, you know, stuff like that, wooden crates, you know, anything that you might see in the background, you know, even World War II stuff. I also like World War II. I have uniforms. Maybe I should share some of that stuff here. So we'll just keep on growing together. What do you think? Yeah, and I'll probably do a tobacco review here soon. I'm going to have to make an order soon because I'm getting low on some of my favorites. But anyways, we'll get around to that. All right, guys. Hope you have a great rest of your week, and we will see you again in a week's time. All right. Thanks again. Bye-bye.